to the German language distance learning program for beginners. This is a joint program conducted by the Indira Gandhi National Open University in collaboration with Max Müller Bhavan, the German Cultural Center in India. Herzlich willkommen zum Fernkurs Deutsch als Fremdsprache für Anfänger. Ein gemeinsames Programm zwischen der Indira Gandhi National Open University und dem Goethe-Institut Max Müller Bhavan, dem Deutschen Kulturzentrum in Indien.
You're listening to Radio D, the radio language course of Redaktion D. A joint project of the Goethe Institute and Deutsche Welle Radio. The author is Herat Mese.
Welcome to episode 4 of your German course, Radio D. Remember Philip trying to get to the current affairs department of Radio D as fast as he can? Driving on the motorway, he's run into a monster of a thunderstorm. Now even I'm wondering whether he's going to make the flight he wants to take from Munich to Berlin. Anyway, at Radio D, Ayhan and Paula are waiting for Philip because he's joining their current affairs team. And there's someone else in the office right now too, Josephine, and she's pretty peeved. Try and find out why.
Was ist denn das?
Guten Abend, Josephine.
Ach, Paula. Ayhan, ihr seid noch hier?
Ja, leider. Wir warten auf Philipp.
Philipp?
Der neue Kollege.
So. Der neue Kollege. Und ich weiß das nicht.
Oh, Josephine, bitte. Tut mir leid.
Und ich weiß das mal wieder nicht.
Ah, der Espresso ist fertig. Hier, Josephine.
Nein, danke.
Och, Josephine.
Yep, that was Josephine. Maybe you remember her from episode 3 when she said that she's with Radio D too. Well, so she is. She tidies up the current affairs office in the evening, and it often needs it too. When she arrives in the office today, she's surprised that Paula and Ayhan are still there.
Ah, Paula. Ayhan, ihr seid noch hier?
And she hears that they're waiting for Philip. More or less by chance, she learns that he's going to be a new colleague of Paula and Ayhan.
Wir warten auf Philipp.
Philipp?
Der neue Kollege.
So. Der neue Kollege.
Being on friendly terms with Paula and Ayhan, Josephine has reason to be cranky about knowing nothing about Philip joining them.
So. Der neue Kollege. Und ich weiß das nicht.
Paula's apology doesn't help much either. Josephine still feels left out.
Josephine, bitte. Tut mir leid.
Und ich weiß das mal wieder nicht.
She even turns down Ayhan's offer of an espresso.
Ah, der Espresso ist fertig. Hier, Josephine.
Nein, danke.
Let's see if we can't cheer Josephine up a bit. Hello, Josephine. Care to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Nein, danke.
That was pretty clear. Never mind, listeners. You'll get to know Josephine's very lovable side too. Meanwhile, though, let's get back to Philip, who's so keenly awaited in Berlin. The poor man is still in Munich. Because the rain forced him to drive slowly, he's missed his plane. Luckily, though, he's managed to get a ticket for the next flight. Have you got any idea what Philip's going to do now? See if you're right.
Abflug Lufthansa 5430 nach Stockholm. Alle Passagiere dieses Fluges werden gebeten, sich nun zum Ausgang B1 zu
Bitte, Paula, bitte geh ans Telefon.
Hier ist die Mailbox von
Paula Meier. Paula Meier?
Ist nicht da. Sprechen Sie Ihre Nachricht jetzt.
Hallo Paula, hier ist Philipp. Ich bin noch in München, tut mir leid. Meine Maschine ist um 11 Uhr in Berlin. Ciao.
Obviously, if you can't keep an appointment, you ring up. Even though you probably didn't understand all the details, you most likely did gather that Philip is trying to phone Paula. He's desperately hoping that she'll pick up the phone.
Bitte, Paula, bitte geh ans Telefon.
Perhaps you also understood that he doesn't reach her personally, only her phone mailbox.
Hier ist die Mailbox von
Paula Meier. Paula Meier?
Ist nicht da.
A phone mailbox lets callers leave a message if they want to.
Sprechen Sie Ihre Nachricht jetzt.
And that's what Philip does. What message does he leave? Well, naturally, first, who he is and where he is.
Hallo Paula, hier ist Philipp. Ich bin noch in München.
And we can all imagine how Philip must be fretting over missing his appointment.
Tut mir leid.
Just an apology wouldn't help those waiting in Berlin much, though, so Philip also tells them when he's going to arrive. Remember the words Maschine, and Berlin in the last sentence? They let you figure out that Philip is telling them the time of his arrival in Berlin, though you may not have understood the actual time, 11 p.m.
Tut mir leid. Meine Maschine ist um 11 Uhr in Berlin. Ciao.
So, Philip won't be in Berlin before 11 at night. He can hardly expect anyone to be waiting for him then. Paula, who's heard the messages on her mailbox, leaves the office with Ayhan, leaving Josefina there on her own. Josefina's now got time to get to grips with the new situation. Listen especially to how she responds to a call to the office.
Okay, dann das war's für heute.
Ja, gut.
Okay.
Josephine, tschüss!
Tschüss!
Schönen Abend noch. Der neue Kollege. Philipp. Na super. Philipp, der neue Kollege. Na sowas. Gut. Der Kaffee ist gut. Telefon? So spät? Hier bei Radio D? Ja, bitte?
Guten Abend. Entschuldigung, es ist ja schon sehr spät. Mein Name ist Frisch, Hanne Frisch. Ist Philipp da?
Entschuldigung, wer bitte? Philipp?
Ja, Philipp. Der neue Kollege.
Nein, der ist nicht da. Und tschüss.
Well, you're bound to have noticed there that Josefina pretends she knows nothing at all, as if she'd never even heard of Philip.
Entschuldigung, wer bitte? Philipp?
And when the woman calling tries to explain about Philip joining the station, Josefina is very curt. She just says he isn't there.
Nein, der ist nicht da.
Did you recognize the caller? It was Frau Frisch, Philip's worried mother. She apologizes for phoning so late.
Guten Abend. Entschuldigung, es ist ja schon sehr spät.
Now, if you ask me, Josefina was pretty rude. For example, she doesn't even ask if she could take a message. It's a shame things haven't gone smoothly. Paula and Ayhan are waiting for Philip. He's waiting for his flight to depart, and his mother was waiting for his call. But you, dear listeners, don't have to wait for anything. Here's the professor back again.
Und nun kommt unser Professor.
Radio D.
Gespräch über Sprache.
Yes, lots of hiccups there. Apologies are called for. I'd like to tell you how you do that in German. The easiest way, of course, is to say Entschuldigung. Entschuldigung.
Entschuldigung. Entschuldigung.
Entschuldigung, es ist ja schon sehr spät.
Or you can use the phrase tut mir leid. Tut mir leid.
Tut mir leid. Tut mir leid.
Josephine, bitte. Tut mir leid.
Tut mir leid.
You can, of course, combine them.
Entschuldigung, tut mir leid. Tut mir leid. Entschuldigung.
But you can also just say sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Entschuldigung.
Yes, the English sorry used typically by young people.
Oh, Professor, you're still young at heart. Anyway, many thanks for now, and listeners, for you, we'll replay the scenes you heard in this episode. First to the Berlin Current Affairs office of Radio D, where they're expecting Philip.
Was ist denn das?
Guten Abend, Josephine.
Ach, Paula. Eihahn, ihr seid noch hier?
Ja, leider. Wir warten auf Philipp.
Philipp?
Der neue Kollege.
So. Der neue Kollege. Und ich weiß das nicht.
Oh, Josephine, bitte. Tut mir leid.
Und ich weiß das mal wieder nicht.
Ah, der Espresso ist fertig. Hier, Josephine.
Nein, danke.
Och, Josephine.
And while they're waiting for him in Berlin, Philip is desperately trying to reach Paula.
Bitte, Paula. Bitte geh ans Telefon.
Hier ist die Mailbox von Paula Meier. Paula Meier ist nicht da. Sprechen Sie Ihre Nachricht jetzt.
Hallo, Paula, hier ist Philipp. Ich bin noch in München. Tut mir leid. Meine Maschine ist um 11 Uhr in Berlin. Ciao.
Josephine, in her own way, sees to order in the office.
Josephine, tschüss.
Tschüss.
Schönen Abend noch. Der neue Kollege. Philipp. Na super. Philipp, der neue Kollege. Na sowas. Gut. Der Kaffee ist gut. Telefon? So spät? Hier bei Radio D? Ja, bitte?
Guten Abend. Entschuldigung, es ist ja schon sehr spät. Mein Name ist Frisch, Hanne Frisch. Ist Philipp da?
Entschuldigung, wer bitte? Philipp?
Ja, Philipp. Der neue Kollege.
Nein, der ist nicht da. Und tschüss.
Next time you'll hear how Philipp is received by the current affairs team of Radio D and lots more.
Bis zum nächsten Mal, liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer.
You've been listening to Radio D, a German course of the Goethe Institute and Deutsche Welle Radio.
Besten Dank, dass Sie unseren Deutschkurs für Anfänger eingeschaltet haben. Detaillierte Informationen über den Kurs bekommen Sie im Studienzentrum, Regionalzentrum und im Max-Müller-Bhavan. Thank you for tuning in to our German language program for beginners. Detailed information regarding this program is available at your study center, regional center and at the Max-Müller-Bhavan.